It's that time again to say good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, PT Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Welcome to Good Morning Grenada for today, Tuesday, the 14th day of April, 2026. I'm Gordon Joseph, and it's such a joy to be with you once again. I'm happy to be in the land of the living. As a gentleman said to me the other day, you're on top of the ground, and I love that. I love the way he said that. You're above ground, all right? Yeah. Thanking God for His grace, His mercies, and His love. Yeah. It's Tuesday. Heavenly Father, I thank you for another beautiful day. As I enter into this day, I come in prayer for those who lost loved ones, those who are in hospital beds, nursing homes, hospice care, and those who are struggling financially, spiritually, and emotionally. Lord, I'm praying for those who are looking for jobs, the ones struggling with addictions, and those who are trying to keep their marriages together. Dear Lord, I know you are still able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think. Father, I ask you to continue to give us the strength to look to the hills, which cometh our help. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen, amen, amen. Those of you in hospitals, man. And while at that, I want to say good morning to Petra's family out there in Hermitage. Good morning. I know how tough this can be, but it's not a surprise to him, really. It really is not a surprise to God. So, yeah. It's, my goodness. I don't know how to tell you that, but nonetheless, be strong. Good Tuesday morning. Begin your day with love in your heart, ever smiling, spending time in prayer. Shine like the sun, inspire someone. Never forget, God is with you. All right, share His love today. God bless you and have a great day, a wonderful day. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm letting you know that it doesn't matter what you're going through. He can, and He will. You just have to let Him. You've got to ask Him, and you've got to let go and let God. Yeah, because He is our forever friend.
I'd like to tell you about it.
25 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Reminding you that it is indeed a good day to have a good day in a good way. Yeah, remember that. It's a good day to have a good day in a good way. Mildred, good morning to you. For some strange reason, I don't know why, I'm not seeing my audience on the live. Let me try this again. Yeah, it's the same problem. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I'm not seeing you. I'm only seeing Yulin, and I know Yulin is not the only one watching. All right, I'm going to try some things and see. All right, no, I'm not getting. I don't know why. It's a good day to have a good day. Remember that. Always, always remember that. I'm not getting. It's 24 minutes on to 7 o'clock, and let's get to the word of the day. That word today is to promote. Promote. P-R-O-M-O-T-E. Promote. That's the word of the day. And promote means to support or to encourage. To support or encourage. Here's how we can use the word in a sentence. The festival promotes culture. The festival. The Maroon Festival in Carriacou, it promotes the culture of the people in Carriacou. It teaches them the ancestral heritage. Yeah, it promotes the culture. All right, so the word today, promote, it means to support or encourage. And the way we can use the word in a sentence, the festival promotes culture. I really don't know what's going on with the live. Let's see. Let me try this again. I want to see my people, man. And one angle, it's showing me the number of people that are up, but then, here it comes, you know. That's why they say, always try again, never give up, never ever give up, you know. So this morning I want to say good morning to, of course, Mildred Jellian is there with us, Mary E. Banks, Yulin, Gracelyn Buckmeyer, Sylvina Charles, Monica Mayrose Williams, Wyland Aquat, Gracelyn Buckmeyer. Okay, all right. Yolan Swan is with us, Rita Williams, Michelle Bernard, Jennifer Lawrence, Grishad Natu. Yep, good morning. Of course, I want to say good morning to my friends, my family out there in Mount Nesbitt. How are you all doing this morning? Yeah, I really promise that I'll visit you all one of these days, but you know, time is an issue, man. But all is well. Shanti Mel, good morning. Finley Jeffrey's father and family out there in Shanti Mel. Good morning. How are you all doing? Hope all are well, right? Yeah, the folks inside of Samaritan, Duquesne. Yeah. 22 minutes onto I am your forever friend. You understand what I'm saying? Believe me when I tell you that. Yeah, you know, believe me when I tell you that I'm your forever friend. Believe that. There goes somebody's dancing song. Aaron and the guys from A&R Eatery and Bar, good morning. That's in Pedmota. Good morning. Scooby and the guys at the Legacy Sports Bar, good morning. Billy, what's up? Yeah. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. And I know that we've got big dreams, yeah? That's the motivational tip of the day. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. Yeah, sometimes the devil tries to frustrate you and make you think that, you know, things that are not there. It makes them show up in your head and inhibits you. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. Don't take this thing of fear and anxiety. I kind of understand the pressures that the folks that suffer with anxiety disorder and this sort of thing. It can really stop you in your tracks, right? Fear can make you want to lock yourself in your room and not even go to the kitchen. You understand? Because it sends things in your mind that are not even there. You're afraid to talk to somebody with an issue. You have a problem and you're afraid to talk to somebody because you don't know what they would tell you, and you're anticipating that they're going to tell you something negative. You might be in the wrong with someone, or you know, and you just want to approach and you're saying, Lord, I can't do that. And that fear is keeping you in that shell. Break away from it. Be motivated by the dreams, the big dream that you have in your heart. Let it propel you forward. Don't give in to fear. False expressions appearing real. They're false. It's like a roaring lion, not a roaring lion. It's like one. It's fake. It's imitation. But the devil uses it, man. My goodness. Sounds like I'm preaching this morning, but that's facts. Yesterday, folks, I was telling you, as parents and guardians, be careful, very careful with the things that you say to and into and about your children and your loved ones, right? And let this week be a week where, if you're used to, in your anger and so forth, you just say the negative things to your children. Oh, your father is at that and your mother is at that. Nothing good would come out of you and all this kind of... Listen, stop, please. Please stop. You are sowing some seeds in the lives of your children, your grandchildren, your relatives, even your friends. Stop. If you can't say something positive, shut up. Simple like that. Toronto, Canada, that's where Grishad is. Good morning. Joylyn Barry, good morning. Louisa Philip Flanders, good morning. Richard Becky Beckford. So innocent, Wagwan, Pastor Beckford. Hey, Wagwan, my brethren. Yeah, you have to come to my program. You have to come and sit down and talk with Innocent. I want to know Pastor Beckford, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely, we will link up, okay? Good. Petlin, good morning. Petlin, I ain't even watching you on this message you sent me there. You understand what I'm saying? About your foreign sellout. What had to do with me? You sell me foreign and listen, blame myself. Okay, Petlin. All right, Petlin, say good morning. Don't vex, foreign sellout. Blame yourself. People coming and look for me because you caught. Oh, so I am the one to blame. People coming and talk to me because you're calling my name on the radio too much for foreign. All right, you'll make GBN give me a price tag for promotions. Good morning, Miss Wells. How are you? All is well. I do hope all is well with you and the family. Good morning, Miss Modest. Out there is Miss Modest, right? Yeah. In Salisbury Road. Good morning. Quickly, let's see what's buzzing this morning. What's buzzing? All right, officials receive a safety gear at Sea Safety event. Grenadians urged to support Cuba's Solidarity campaign. This morning I will be joined by Dr. Malachi Doughton as we look to sensitize the people and, get them to contribute and donate towards Cuba. In the region, St. Lucia Prime Minister urges CARICOM leaders to improve communication. Internationally, U.S. blockade of Iranian ports raises tensions. And in sports, Windward Volcanoes hold a narrow lead in West Indies Championship. The details to these and more are straight ahead. Don't you go anywhere. Don't move a muscle. Yeah, the details are right after this.
Choice Promotion presents Lyrics and Laughter, the ultimate pre-Mother's Day show. It's coming to the Grenada Trade Center on Sunday, May the 3rd from 5 p.m. Get ready for an evening of non-stop comedy, sweet Caribbean vibes, and pure entertainment. From Trinidad and Tobago, the funniest man in the region, Errol Fabian.
She said not even my shoes. I said no.
Humorous Calypsonians, Trinidad Rio.
Going back to basics.
And the Calypso princess herself, Kareen Ashton. From the Spice Isle, 2 decades of legend, Randy Isaac, Little Reds, plus local comedy king Robert White, Dillian Walters, Fat Man George, and Kareem Alexis, delivering lyrical mastery, 11-time Calypso Monarch scholar, all backed by the Heatwave Band, with special musical treats from Lyndon Langdon on sax and Jaleli Moses on violin. It's lyrics, it's laughter, it's music, it's vibes. Tickets just $75. Available now at gotofed.com and other outlets island-wide. Treat mom, treat your partner, treat yourself. Lyrics and laughter. Sunday, May the 3rd, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center. Don't miss it.
In Grenada, sports aren't just a game. They're a way of life. They teach discipline, teamwork, and resilience. They inspire the next generation to push boundaries and chase excellence. That's why the Investment Migration Agency of Grenada is proud to support sports initiatives as part of our commitment to youth and national development. When we invest in sports programs, we invest in the future. We invest in the health and well-being of our youth, and we invest in broadening Grenada's reach, proudly connecting our athletes, our talent, and our nation to a global community. Together, we all go further. The Investment Migration Agency. Unlock the possibilities.
Grenada, the fire's about to be lit. Get ready for the ultimate grilling showdown. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026 is coming your way. Saturday, May the 30th at the Monrouge Plain Field. The search is on for the island's top grill masters. Do you have what it takes? Bring your flavor and compete in the chicken category, the seafood category, and the bold, most creative grill category, where daring ideas take the crown. And this year, the heat isn't just for adults. Introducing the Junior Grillers category. Schools and youth groups. If you are under 18, this is your
This is the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, 14th April 2026. In the headlines, fishers receive safety gear at sea safety event. Grenadians urge to support Cuba's solidarity campaign. In the region, St. Lucia Prime Minister urges CARICOM leaders to improve communication. Internationally, U.S. blockade of Iranian ports raises tensions. And in sports, windward volcanoes hold narrow lead in West Indies Championship. The details to these and more after these messages.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you ride me, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
When the day's done, there's only one place to be. Jump it up. April 25th and 26th, the Kirani James Athletic Stadium comes alive. It's the Classic Lighting Communal Credit Union Invitational Games, the final showdown. Come witness all clubs battle for glory one last time. Gather your posse, take your stand, and jump up for Bankers Association, Hubbards, Digicel, Huggins, Brenlek, Nawasa, Prisons, Police, Busmen, and Flow. This is rivalry. This is passion. This is Grenada on fire. April 25th and 26th. Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Don't miss it.
Good morning, everyone. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph, welcoming Graphics and his team from Hot 98 FM. In the local news, fisher folk in St. David have received safety equipment following a safety at sea demonstration and exhibition at the Corinth Community Center on Monday evening. The event, facilitated by Windward Islands Research and Education Foundation, WINREF, featured live demonstrations of maritime safety gear and practices. The initiative forms part of broader efforts to improve safety at sea. In March, a total of 140 fisher folk completed training in maritime safety, facilitated by the Ministry of the Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, with funding from the UBEC project. Grenadians are being encouraged to support the launch of a national solidarity campaign for Cuba set to take place today at Pier 57 at 7 p.m. The drive runs from today, April 14th, through May 14th, and marks 47 years of diplomatic relations between Cuba and Grenada. Organizers say the campaign will collect financial contributions and essential supplies as Cuba continues to face the impact of the United States economic blockade. A series of activities, including breakfasts, concerts, and collection drives, are planned for the one-month initiative. And finally, the Get Grenada Swimming Initiative has reported more than 800 participants for this 2026 Easter Swim Week, an increase of 200 compared to last year. Carriacou recorded a milestone of 55 new swimmers, the highest number ever for the program there. Organizers say growing participation reflects increased awareness of water safety, with free weekly lessons continuing across 10 locations. Thank you to Ms. Deb Eastwood. And that brings us to the end of the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, they are straight ahead. Reminding you, you're tuned to the morning edition of news on Classic and GBN platforms. In the region, St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierce is urging regional leaders to communicate more directly as tensions continue over the reappointment of Dr. Carla Barnett. The call comes amid a growing row with Trinidad and Tobago claiming it was excluded from key discussions on Barnett's reappointment at a leaders' retreat in St. Kitts and Nevis. Pierre, who will assume the CARICOM chairmanship in July, says stronger communication among leaders could help maintain unity within the regional bloc. Authorities in Belize have seized more than 550 kilograms of suspected cocaine and a light aircraft during a major anti-drug operation. 2 Mexican nationals believed to be pilots were arrested along with 2 Belizeans found at the site. Security forces say the plane was tracked from South America before landing in the Newland area in Corozal district on April 10th. Investigations are ongoing to identify those behind the shipment. And looking further afield, the United States has begun a blockade of ports in Iran, escalating tensions in the region. Vice President J.D. Vance accused Iran of economic terrorism over earlier disruptions in the Straits of Hormuz, warning that Iranian vessels will be prevented from leaving. President Donald Trump has also threatened military action against any Iranian ships approaching the blockade. Meanwhile, talks between Israel and Lebanon are set to begin in the United States. Pope Leo XIV has begun an 11-day tour of Africa, aiming to highlight the continent's growing importance to the Catholic Church. The visit will take him to Algeria, Cameroon, Angola, and Equatorial Guinea, focusing on peace, migration, and interfaith dialogue. Africa is home to more than 280 million Catholics, making it one of the fastest growing regions for the Church. And that's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Well, good morning, sporting fans. Cricket, lovely cricket, dominates this morning. As a matter of fact, the Windward Islands Volcanoes maintained a slim first inning lead over the Guyana Harpy Eagles after a hard-fought day in the West Indies Championship at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. After posting 286 all out, highlighted by Akeem August's 95 and Ryan John's 42, the Volcanoes returned to the field and kept pressure on the defending champions. Guyana closed the day on 257 for 9, still trailing by 29 runs, despite resistance from Kimal Savri with 77 and Tajnarin Chandapal with 70. Jalen Tyson led the Volcanoes bowling attack with 4 for 64, while Kenneth Demba supported with 3 for 48, and Ryan John chipped in with 2 wickets. With just 1 wicket remaining, the Volcanoes will be aiming to wrap up the innings quickly and build on their narrow advantage. And that's all the sports we've got at this time. We'll have more sports during a luncheon newscast and, of course, in our primetime news later in the evening. Stay with us, folks. The weather forecast is straight ahead.
Something big is coming. On April 10th, freedom takes center stage. Are you ready to live free? It all begins April 10th.
And folks, for the latest forecast, we join forecaster Vondi Cyrus, exhausted from a lengthy shift, but nonetheless, she's going to give us the morning's weather forecast. Good morning, Vondi.
Good morning to you and to your listeners. Here is the weather for today, Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. It is a partly cloudy morning at the MBIA. Winds are from the east-southeast at 14 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is 1011.5 millibars. That is below normal and rising. The present temperature is 27.2 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity is 75%. Yesterday's highest temperature was 29.9 degrees Celsius. Last night's lowest temperature was 26.4 degrees Celsius. There was no rainfall recorded here at the MBIA over the last 24 hours. Hence, the month's total remains at 10.4 millimeters. Now let's look at the public weather forecast valid for today and tonight for the state of Grenada. Conditions are expected to be partly cloudy, windy, and slightly hazy, with brief light showers mainly overnight. Today's maximum temperature can be around 30 degrees Celsius. Wind easterly to southeasterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tides are currently falling, will be low at 7:45 a.m., high at 1:30 p.m., and low again at 7 p.m. Sunset today is 6:19, sunrise tomorrow 5:55. Just a recap of the public weather forecast valid for today and tonight for the state of Grenada. Conditions are expected to be partly cloudy, windy, and slightly hazy with brief light showers mainly overnight. From the Met Office, this is Vondi Cyrus wishing you all a lovely day.
Thank you very much, Vondi. Have yourself a great day likewise and get yourself some rest. Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Renick and Thompson Company Limited.
First home? Need to replace what stopped working? Ready for an upgrade? Now is the time to shop at Quartz. Get a free gift with purchase on select appliances and 20% off matching bedroom pieces. Shop mattresses for the comfort you need. Plus, save on furniture, dining, and large screen TVs. Get what you need at Quartz. And when they ask, say, I got it at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
It's 1 minute after 7 o'clock. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Fishers receive safety gear at Sea Safety event. Grenadians urged to support Cuba Solidarity campaign. In the region, St. Lucia Prime Minister urges CARICOM leaders to improve communication. Internationally, U.S. blockade of Iranian ports raises tensions. And in sports, Windward Volcanoes hold a narrow lead in West Indies Championship. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, the 14th day of April, 2026. On behalf of the entire news department and all those who made this newscast possible, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for viewing and listening, wishing you a safe and productive day. extending that invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we're with you anywhere and everywhere. And on another note, before we wrap the news off, I just want to say happy 23rd anniversary to the graduating class, the nursing class of 2003. All right, nurses like Nurse Pierre and Nurse Filbert and Modu and others from the graduating class of 2003. Congratulations. Have a good day now, everybody. Bye-bye.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools and appliances for all residential, commercial and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
When the day's done, there's only one place to be. Jump it up. April 25th and 26th, the Kirani James Athletic Stadium comes alive. It's the Classic Lighting Communal Credit Union Invitational Games, the final showdown. Come witness all clubs battle for glory one last time. Gather your posse, take your stand, and jump up for Bankers Association, Hubbards, DigiCell, Huggins, Renlec, Nawasa, Prisons, Police, Busmen, and Flow. This is rivalry. This is passion. This is Grenada on fire. April 25th and 26th. Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Don't miss it.
St. David! Bless done, no! It's been a while, and now we're back in a big way. How big? We're talking $40,000 in cash money bingo big. And it's all going down Saturday, April 18th, inside Mall Mount, Plainfield. Get your tickets now, only $35 for one, or $60 for two. Make it a date. Mall Mount, Plainfield, Saturday, April 18th. St. David's, we're back. Bless done, no!
Something big is coming. On April 10th, freedom takes center stage. Are you ready to live free? It all begins April 10th.
The amendments to the existing Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act shall allow for the decriminalization of cannabis in Grenada. It permits the possession of up to 56 grams of cannabis and 15 grams of resin for individuals aged 21 and older.
The amendment allows for the growth of up to 4 cannabis plants per household for medicinal, therapeutic, or horticultural purposes. The amendment provides a legal framework for the Rastafari use and cultivation of cannabis as a sacrament in registered places of worship and at exempt events.
Amendments to the Drug Abuse Act also mandates the expungement of past criminal records and the immediate discontinuance of pending court cases for minor cannabis offences.
The amendment replaces criminal charges for those aged 18 to 20 with mandatory rehabilitation and counseling, ensuring no criminal record is created for young adults. Amendments to the Drug Abuse Act centers on the decriminalization of cannabis and not full legalization.
For more information, kindly contact the Cannabis Secretariat at cannabiscommission@gov.gd. The Cannabis Secretariat, guiding responsible cannabis use and awareness.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store or call 442-8602, 459-4325 or 416-8467 for further information.
Grenada, we are back. Our senior women's national team returns to the pitch for a massive CONCACAF W qualifier, and they need your power behind them. Tuesday, April 14th, Grenada James Athletics Stadium, Grenada versus Cayman Islands. Kickoff 5 p.m. This is national pride. This is passion. This is the road to glory. Tickets, adults just at $25, children $10, and kids under 12 get in free. Get your tickets now at gotofet.com or at these outlets: Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, St. George's, and Spiceland Mall. GFA office. Bring your flags, bring your voice, and come support our Grenada women's national team as they battle for victory. Follow the journey on social media at Grenada Football Association. Grenada versus Cayman Islands, April 14th, 5 p.m. Be there and stand with Team Grenada.
Grenada, the fire's about to be lit. Get ready for the ultimate grilling showdown. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026 is coming your way. Saturday, May the 30th at the Munrouge Plain Field. The search is on for the island's top grill masters. Do you have what it takes? Bring your flavor and compete in the chicken category, the seafood category, and the bold, most creative grill category, where daring ideas take the crown. And this year, the heat isn't just for adults. Introducing the Junior Grillers category. Schools and youth groups. If you are under 18, this is your time to shine. So fire up those coals, sharpen those grilling skills, and get ready to battle for grilling glory. Registration is now open. Call or WhatsApp 405.
It's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock. At this time, I'm happy to join Sergeant Troy Paul from the Traffic Department of the RGPF for this morning's traffic report. Good morning, Sarge.
A pleasant morning to you and also to our listeners this morning. It is always a pleasure, as usual, when we let persons know what is happening in the trial and state of Grenada as it relates to the traffic. And definitely this morning we'll let persons know what is happening. So at this moment, letting persons know that most of our routes at this moment, traffic is moderately flowing, because I'm standing right in the area of Springs, and from that area, traffic is flowing smoothly in most of the area. Just a little minor obstruction as you head on to the Wireman Soup Shop, that area there. But it is flowing smoothly as traffic is not that heavy at the moment. but we definitely know our traffic. We had a little coming out from the Calvin direction. Nothing to be alarmed at this moment at the time. And also from the St. Paul's area, which is a bit heavier than moderately flowing traffic. So that area definitely will be an area of challenge and concern this morning as persons coming out from that direction. So if you're coming out from the Beaton, St. Paul's, that side of the island, you're passing as we normally refer to as the top road, you definitely will experience. It is not, as I said, it's not that heavy at the moment, but we definitely know it's going to be heavier as we get closer to the 8 o'clock hour. As we observed yesterday, the traffic was already on that road at 7 o'clock. So persons, be mindful that you will definitely expect we expect a similar like traffic coming up from that direction. And in addition to that, we do have this school, most primary schools, our tech schools opened yesterday. In addition to that, we have the private schools opening, so we know we definitely will have that additional traffic along the road this morning. So motorists, please pay attention as you travel along these roads this morning. So you know what to expect, so we ask that you take that into consideration as we head on to our destination this morning. Just diving right over, we do not have any cruise ship in our ports today or expect any. So that is a plus for us as we definitely move on throughout this day. But what we do have is one funeral that will be happening a little later in Bolio. So drivers later on this evening as we're heading up, we may expect a little traffic delay around that time. And so additionally, we do have now as a continuing the safe project along that road. So you do expect a little delay, stop and go as we travel along that road in the morning time. As we just head over right onto the accident state 40 past 24 hours, we had a total of 8 minor accidents reported, and we definitely going to let persons know where they came from. And we do have 2 from the traffic headquarters, 2 from St. David's Police Station, 2 from South, and 2 from Grenville. I don't know if that's a sign, but everything playing out in the 2s, is that a play sign? But nevertheless, we dive right into, we just want to encourage persons to drive safely, continue to be on our roads, make sure you check your vehicles properly. If you're hearing noises that are not expected, check it out. You never know what it can cause. I had to learn the hard way this morning, but nonetheless, everything will be sorted out. But persons, you have a responsibility to ensure your safety is paramount because anything can lead to an accident along our road, mechanical failure, driving and failing to obey signs and so on. Then the list can go on and on and on. But nonetheless, as we dive right back into what we're talking about, the traffic state in the morning time, and persons, if you have not left home as yet, please do, especially depending on your destination, and you have to come through any of our towns in the Trial State of Grenada, especially the town of St. George's, you know what to expect as we get on to the 8 o'clock hour. But however, we do have officers deployed in most of the strategic, as we call, choke points to assist in the regulating of traffic, so it would be a little bit easier. But remember, we do not make it, we would not avoid any traffic congestion. So be mindful of that as you head on this morning. As we wrap things up this morning, anything from you this morning?
Well, I'm happy you asked because it was brought to my attention by some concerned residents in traversing the Monjaloo Road, Richmond Hill area. Apparently, there seemed to be a new business venture, restaurant, or something of that nature in that area that has they complain that vehicular traffic is affected because vehicles are parked for a long distance and makes it a sort of one-lane traffic. So I don't know how much you know about that. And just around the fort area up there, and it's causing some concerns for citizens because they will calls coming in, and that I should address that with you this morning. Are you aware of any business venture in that area that would prohibit traffic's flow?
I'm aware of the business, but I'm not aware of the traffic that it is posing to the motorists, and it is something that definitely we have to look into and address it as immediately so that we can take we don't want to be proactive in relation to that, although it's already after the fact. But I believe in this early initial stage, I think that we should address it and deal with it according to how it's supposed to be dealt with. And thank you very much for that information, and to the persons who share their concern as it relates to that. And as I said, it is something that we have to look in and most definitely deal with it right away. And thanks for the information as well.
Thank you very much. Well, that's it on my end. So if you're texting, I hope you weren't texting this morning.
No, not one bit of it.
Accidents happen, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But as usual, we urge our drivers and pedestrians alike to be very mindful that the road is not a place to play. Not at all. One mishap can cost you your life or someone else. Definitely so. So you have a great day. Thanks for the information. Informative as always. We look forward to another engagement tomorrow. You're welcome. Have yourself a blessed day. Have a good one. Folks, that was the traffic report. We take a commercial break and we'll be back to start the conversation. Don't you go anywhere.
As we look ahead to 2026, we're committed to elevating Grenada's presence on the global stage. Our integrated tactical focus includes media relations, travel trade engagement, sales activation, and digital campaigns. These efforts are designed to ensure visibility and establish leadership in our niche pillar marketing. We invite you to join us on this journey by supporting our initiatives and sharing the beauty of our tri-island state with the world. Together, we can make 2026 a year of growth and success for our islands. Whether you're a local stakeholder, a travel enthusiast, or someone who simply loves Grenada, your involvement is crucial to our success. Thank you for your continued support. Let's make 2026 a year to remember.
Distributed by Echo Blue Limited. Visit us on the Lansopine Main Road or call 405-4818.
First home? Need to replace what stopped working? Ready for an upgrade? Now is the time to shop at Quartz. Get a free gift with purchase on select appliances and 20% off matching bedroom pieces. Shop mattresses for the comfort you need. Plus, save on furniture, dining, and large screen TVs. Get what you need at Quartz. And when they ask, say, I got it at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
The Presentation Brothers College and the St. Joseph's Convent St. George's Choirs presents Voices Lifted in Hope. Everybody showed it. An uplifting, inspiring experience featuring the joint choir for the first time in youthful exuberance, along with students from other secondary schools across Grenada. Join us on April 18th at the Grenada Trade Center, starting from 7 p.m. Adults pay $40, students pay $20, and VIP for $80. Voices Lifted in Hope. Come out and support the nation's youth as they showcase their talent. April 18th at the Grenada Trade Center. Do not miss this.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
All right, folks, it's 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we do have a window of opportunity to engage in an open line conversation this morning. I am expecting two different sets of guests. One is a bit caught in the traffic. The traffic is really, and they're not local, so they did not quite grasp that. And then I should be having a representative talking about the Cuban solidarity drive that's forthcoming. What we'll do, I'll engage a conversation with you in the interim. When they get here, we take a quick commercial break and we bring them on the set. What's on your mind this morning? Is it politics? What's on your mind? Anything that's on your mind. Good morning. Once again, a happy anniversary to the graduating class of 2003. That's the nurses that graduated that time, Nurse Pierre and Nurse Philbert and Modu and the others. I can't remember the names of the others, but congratulations to you. Enjoy your day today in fine style. Let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah. Well, I'm a regular listener to the BBC, like I addicted to the BBC. And what I heard is that this guy who running in England, he ran on a tone that if he win the election, that he will not be given the Caribbean slaves and them any reparation. And I find that was kind of weird because you think about it, these people don't like black people. And secondly, Mr. Donald Trump said he don't care to hell about crime against humanity when they were speaking about him about bombing up the bridges and them in Iran. He said he don't care about that. How the president of the United States of America, who people respect so much, could come on the radio could say such a thing? I mean,
it's sad,
man.
It's sad, right?
Yeah, man.
It's sad, but
you know something. When they spoke about the reparation thing, you know Donald Trump, he voted against it. Donald Trump
the reparations.
Yeah, man. He what now? He voted against it. Yeah. He vetoed it.
Okay.
Benjamin Netanyahu of
Israel, yeah,
and the Argentina. These are the three countries who vetoed it.
Okay.
So we're going back into what's not good. I mean, they have us back in slavery, But I ain't going. I'm not taking no part in slavery. I ain't taking no part in slavery.
Emancipate your mind from mental slavery, man. Yeah, that's where it starts. It all starts in the mind. Once your mind is emancipated, then trust me, you're free.
In a sense,
yeah.
I born in the 60s, and when I was growing up, the kind of thing I hear, they say Fidel Castro had caught a fella having an affair with a donkey, and he made the man married to the donkey. I don't know where that came from. Then Fidel Castro was on the beach again, and he was jogging. And a man saved him, and you know what he did to the man who saved him? He shot him and killed him.
But these are just rumors and propaganda, man.
These are the things that the United States used to do from ever.
Yeah, propaganda specialists.
To put we against one another.
All right. Thank you for your contribution, though. Have a great day.
My respect.
All right. Okay. Folks, it's 26 minutes after 7 o'clock. The conversation, an open-end conversation this morning. What you want to chime in on this morning? Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Joseph, greetings.
Welcome.
Yes, just to follow up a bit on something that last caller mentioned there. He wasn't too complete on it, but it's a significant point worthy of strict and of consideration by the Grenadian people, not only Grenadian people, but the Caribbean people. Chap Nigel Farage of the Reform Party of the United Kingdom, he's not in office yet, so he's seeking, and it seems that his party is gaining great advantage over the others, and it is likely that he may win the next British elections. But he made some a statement recently, and it had to do with the Caribbean peoples who are claiming reparatory justice / reparations, in other words, compensation for the evil that the British government and the Anglican Church propagated or perpetrated against enslaved African peoples centuries ago. And he said that if his party takes office in the United States, that he will deny entrance of all these people who are claiming reparations to the United Kingdom.
Caller, a quick correction there. You said United States, but that's the United Kingdom, right?
United Kingdom, pardon. Kingdom, yes, United Kingdom. Thank you. And this has to be well noted, because there's some of us who run around claiming reparations. Mind you, we kowtow into the United Kingdom, still the king in Grenada, in the Parliament of Grenada, Section 23 of the so-called Constitution. The king is the king within the executive, Section 57. And they're claiming reparations, and they're being told no, I don't have a problem with them making the noises, but they have to face the fact. You cannot continue to kowtow to the British Empire with His Majesty the King and His Majesty's prisons and Hansard report in the Parliament and His Majesty's Parliament and the Crown lands, demonstrating crystally clearly that we are a territory of a colony of the United Kingdom still. And that is the way they see us, as reflected in the words of Nigel Farage, how they see us. We kowtow into that. Let us break away from it once and for all. Claim our independence. The time has come. Ask the people of this country. Ask the people of this country, from the Governor General so-called down to the so-called Prime Minister and all. Ask the people, put it to the people, let the people decide whether or not they want to live under the imperial order and council of the monarch's most excellent majesty, or if they want to write their own constitution, because we can. And the lawyers of this country have no privileges over us to write a constitution for us. Down with the CC boards of the CCR, who continue to maintain our ties under this demeaning state of subjugation and sovereignty to the United Kingdom, yet they're telling us that they want us to be free and we're independent. That's a lie. It's a big hoax. And it's time you open your eyes, Grenadians. The ruling class of Grenada has been bluffing you for 52 years, and they continue to do it. But of course, you don't have to buy what is the car say. What I want you to do is read the document prepared in 2002 by Nicholas Liverpool et al. And understand it. It is written there. Have a nice day for what is worth, Mr. Joseph. Thank you very much.
You have a great day too, caller. It's 30 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're having a brief conversation in the interim while I await the arrival of my guests. And it's an open-ended conversation. I give you the opportunity to, converse anything that you so think is worthy of mention. I want to say happy birthday to Miss Theresa McMayo of Apsley Hill in Pedmota. You've got greetings coming from your neighbors and family. Happy birthday. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program.
I know it's everything.
Everything is fine.
I'm okay, myself. Because I can say every time, who educate black people? Who really educate we black people?
That's a big question.
The question is, Rome and England and France were educated. Rome was the empire first. Then France and England were who have we, and give us the teaching. They never give us African teaching. They never give us our history, our African history. They give us their thing, and always they give us we have their thing in our head still. They have their school, their churches, and they educate us. So all now we still brainwash, you know. All now we still brainwash because we had their teaching we have. We never our ancestors teaching from Africa. They never give us no teaching about Africa. We are kings and queens of Africa. No. Just lately, that's how they come out by degrees now. We try to get knowledge about Africa, the history of Africa and whatnot, and what they've done to black people. You know what we can say done to black people in the world? You know what black people, American people killed in America? We had black people ruling Japan, China, all over the world. Black people before white people come out in existence. White people come out in existence just yesterday, but they come out to the military forces, so we have to respect them. That's why they have the power, military.
Okay.
But we learn from the European people. Them who taught us. They give us the church and the school. And they bring us from ever since. In any case, just now then, we try to get lightened up with the modern and get to know our story and where we come from and whatnot. But it's a hard thing to get from our head. They're the pay for slavery. Every black man on the earth needs pay for slavery.
Okay.
Every black man that get paid for slavery because that slave was real. Because enough trouble, wickedness they do to we.
Okay, caller.
Come on, man.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. It's 27 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Before the digital age, before the world moved at the speed of a click, there was a signal connecting a nation. In 1986, a journey in broadcasting began in Grenada, a journey that would grow into a trusted voice across the country. For 40 years, through radio and television, we've been there for the stories that shaped our nation, the news that mattered, the voices that informed us, the moments that brought us together. Your stories, your voices, your moments. The Grenada Broadcasting Network, 40 years strong, one nation, one network.
Choice Promotion presents Lyrics and Laughter, the ultimate pre-Mother's Day show. It's coming to the Grenada Trade Center on Sunday, May the 3rd from 5 p.m. Get ready for an evening of non-stop comedy, sweet Caribbean vibes, and pure entertainment. From Trinidad and Tobago, the funniest man in the region, Errol Fabian.
She said not even my shoes, I said no.
Humorous Calypsonians, Trinidad Rio.
Going back to basics.
And the Calypso Princess herself, Kareen Ashton from the Spice Isles. 2 decades of legend, Randy Isaac, Little Reds, plus local comedy king Robert White, Dillian Walters, Fat Man George, and Kareem Alexis, delivering lyrical mastery, 11-time Calypso Monarch scholar, all backed by the Heatwave Band, with special musical treats from Lyndon Langdon on sax and Jaleli Moses on violin. It's lyrics, it's laughter, it's music, it's vibes. Tickets just $75. Available now at gotofed.com and other outlets island-wide. Treat mom, treat your partner, treat yourself. Lyrics and laughter. Sunday, May the 3rd, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center. Don't miss it.
In Grenada, sports aren't just a game. They're a way of life. They teach discipline, teamwork, and resilience. They inspire the next generation to push boundaries and chase excellence. That's why the Investment Migration Agency of Grenada is proud to support sports initiatives as part of our commitment to youth and national development. When we invest in sports programs, we invest in the future. We invest in the health and well-being of our youth, and we invest in broadening Grenada's reach, proudly connecting our athletes, our talent, and our nation to a global community. Together, we all go further. The Investment Migration Agency. Unlock the possibilities.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. The conversation continues. As I told you, our open line conversation was just to accommodate the arrival of my guest. I'm joined by Dr. Malachi Doughton at this time, and a man of many hats, but this morning he is here to talk solidarity with Cuba. Good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
I'm doing extremely well.
I could see that.
Thanks for having us here.
The pleasure is always ours.
And I say having us, I refer to Citizens for Grenada.
Okay. All right. Those of us who pay attention to current affairs, we know what Cuba is under at the moment. I mean, Cuba has been under this embargo and blockade by the U.S. for over 60 years. But in recent times, circumstances made it even worse. And Cuba has been a friend to the world.
Surely. And indeed, today marked the 47th anniversary of the establishment of bilateral relationship between Grenada and the Republic of Cuba.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons we are here today, because this afternoon, or this evening at around 7, we will launch a humanitarian effort towards Cuba. And this initiative is being launched by Citizens for Grenada under the theme Grateful Grenada, Give Back to Cuba.
Love that thing.
And one may want to ask, why are we launching this? Because over the last nearly 5 decades, Cuba have contributed immensely to Grenada in the areas of education, healthcare services, disaster response, but importantly, technical response. So we feel that it is important to mobilize national appreciation and turn it into tangible support to give Cuba financial and technical support for the people of Cuba.
All right, Doc, I would like us to take a quick pause because your colleague is here. So we just take a quick break and we will be right back, folks. Another guest is joining us on that humanitarian effort. We take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after this.
It's been a while, and now we're back in a big way. How big? We're talking 40,000
$1,000 in cash money bingo big. And it's all going down Saturday, April 18th inside Mall Mount Plainfield. Get your tickets now. Only $35 for one or $60 for two. Make it a date. Mall Mount Plainfield. Saturday, April 18th. St. David's. We're back.
Blast done, no.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. As I promised, the big man is here now, the big man himself, Mr. King's Counsel Ruggles Ferguson. He's joined us on the set, and we were in the conversation as it relates to the solidarity movement with that we are about to launch for Cuba. Welcome, sir.
Yes, good morning, Innocent, and good morning to my colleague, Malachi. And sorry, I had to face a serious traffic. I didn't realize it was so bad.
I could imagine.
Coming up here. Yes, okay. Sorry to be late.
So Dr. Malachi was talking about the launch of that campaign. It's 1 month from today.
1 month.
14th of May.
So it will start today. It will commence today, the 14th of April to the 14th of May. And as we have said, this initiative is to mobilize national appreciation and turn it into tangible support, tangible humanitarian support to guarantee we can send to Cuba financial and material support. And critically, we want to ensure that we can mobilize civil organizations, the churches, community groups, private sector, to participate in that program to ensure that it is inclusive. But importantly, to ensure also that you develop that relationship, people relationship between Grenada and Cuba. And we will deliberate on that thereafter. But we'll start today. There is an official function at Pier 57. So we'll officially launch this initiative today.
And what format would that launch be? Will it be open to the public, that the public can come in and...
Well, today we are also celebrating the 47th anniversary of the establishment of bilateral relationship between Grenada and Cuba. So it's an official function, by invitation for the launch. We are hoping to have the government of Grenada being present, meaning the Governor General, Prime Minister, and citizens of Cuba and other invitees, to ensure we can galvanize and give what is needed to the masses.
Okay. Council, good morning. Welcome into the conversation now.
Yes.
I want you to tell us from your end. As I said earlier, Cuba has been a friend. Well, today we celebrate 47 years of diplomatic relations with Cuba. But Cuba has been a friend to the world. Right? If you look at Ebola in Angola and all over the world where the crisis comes up, Cuba is there. But Cuba has been suffering a lot for over 60 years, but more so in recent times. Do you think the world is responding to Cuba as it should?
Well, I don't necessarily think that they are responding as they should, but there are, different issues, different challenges facing different countries. And I think what is important, as the saying goes, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I think what is important for us is not to measure what others are doing, but try to encourage as many people to do as much as possible, and for we ourselves to do as much as possible. Sometimes the thing with human beings is that they will say what everybody else should be doing. And what we are trying to do as part of Citizens for Cuba is to actually do, not just express solidarity in words, but express solidarity in a tangible way, because that is what Cuba needs now. I have no doubt that the vast majority of Grenadians, vast majority of people in the region and certainly in the world sympathize with Cuba, are against what is happening to Cuba after 60 years of blockade. You have the tightening of that blockade and really attempts to cruelly starve the Cubans to death. And we can't stand idly by and just look on as spectators to all that is happening in Cuba and the rest of the world. But we are focusing on Cuba today. And of course, as Dr. Dutton indicated, today is the 47th anniversary of formal diplomatic relations with Cuba, just 3 short of half a century. And throughout those 47 years, Cuba has been consistently a friend of Grenada. And if you go back to the records in 1979, again, when Grenada attempted to establish relations with Cuba, the United States attempted to dictate that no relations with Cuba. In fact, the aid offered at that time was $5,000. $5,000. And you don't have relations with Cuba. Today, what we see an international airport. And sometimes we take things for granted because we live here, we go through the motions, we see things happening, but don't understand the significance of these things, the significance of the international airport. The fact that the international airport is not just an airport, but has opened the gateway to Grenada's economic future, as the theme of that time suggested. Grenada's international airport, gateway to Grenada's economic future, and all the development that has taken place in the south of the country, or that have taken place over the last few years, is as a result of the international airport. And now we have 2 key institutions down there, the International Airport and the St. George's University, right in the south of the island. We used to have to go to Pearls, over winding hills, to find an airport. In other words,
you make it sound like an indictment, man.
No,
that's where I'm from.
Well, no. It was great while it lasted. But I'm saying when you open up and for development, you have to go over Granny Town. We have to. We couldn't accommodate international flights. When we're flying out, we have to go through Barbados.
Yeah, the airport closed at 6. Last flight was 6 o'clock in the evening.
That's the point. So I'm saying every single Grenadian, without exception, has benefited from the relations with Cuba.
Directly or indirectly?
Directly or indirectly. In major ways, significant ways. And as my colleague Malachi would say, the experience of studying in Cuba, hundreds of Grenadian students who would not otherwise be able to afford free scholarships to study as engineers, to study as medical doctors, and all professions without paying a cent. You know, there are people now years after they have completed university paying back loans, struggling to pay back loans you take to study. That's expensive stuff. So Cuba has assisted us so significantly, and we cannot. We have a moral responsibility to assist Cuba. We cannot turn our backs on our friends, and that's why the theme chosen, of course, Grateful Grenada, gives back to Cuba, because we want to instill in our people that sense of gratitude, that you don't abandon your friends in the time of need, and this is Cuba's hour of need.
In fact, as King Council August have said, over 400 Grenadians have studied in Cuba.
I thought it was more.
Well, there are other, over 400. Over 400.
Maybe in a particular area?
Yeah, no, over 400. And in fact, we have got to the tune of over 10,000. Yes, in the Caribbean, I've studied in Cuba, and in Africa, over 40,000. So Cuba have not only trained the people in the Caribbean, but also in Latin America and Africa. But I think critically what Council August have said, grateful to give back to Cuba. Because why? Over 24 Cubans died during the invasion of Grenada. 24 Cubans died, and the Cubans were not defending themselves only. They were defending that relationship that we are talking about, that bond of purity among the people. This is what they were defending. Critically, it's not only in terms of education, but the disaster response. Disaster response. When we had Ivan, when we had Emily, they all responded. But the last health problem we have had throughout the world, you had Cuba, COVID-19. Cuban doctors not only came to the Caribbean, they went to Europe. They went to places that no other doctors would have gone. I'm talking about in Africa, in Haiti, in the bushes in Haiti. They were there. It is in this regard, as Council have said, that it's really grateful to deal with what we are, that initiative, humanitarian drive for Cuba. And we will go through the drive because it's going to be one of the biggest initiatives that have ever taken place after.
So let's see what the drive would encompass.
Okay. Well, we have starting. Well, first of all, what we aim for is a mass-based participation, not just one or two people contributing. We say we want every single Grenadian to make a contribution, and we want every single Grenadian to have an opportunity to make that contribution. So it's a parish-based approach and a multi-sector based approach. We are calling on civil society organizations. We have suggested several activities. We don't have the capacity to organize all the activities. We are calling on civil society organizations, and so far we have had great responses. For example, the churches. The idea is for the churches to dedicate at least one Sunday in the 4 weekends between April 14th and May 14th, at least one Sunday for every church to set aside donations or collections for Cuba that will go specifically for Cuba, starting this weekend. So you have Saturdays, the Seventh-day Adventists, and you have Sundays, you have other churches. So the idea, and we have several hundred churches, I realize, throughout the country, and you have the Grenada Conference of Churches, you have the Alliance of Pentecostal Churches as umbrella bodies, and the idea is to rotate it. So, for example, this weekend coming, you might have 50 churches doing it. Next weekend, another 50 churches, and so on until you have every single congregation, we hope, will set aside that time and space to do collections for Cuba. So that's from the church's standpoint. The trade unions are fully on board, and May Day, the trade unions have set aside collections for Cuba, solidarity with Cuba, and collections. May Day is in Caracol this year, and they have set aside collections. So we're asking people to come, not just to May Day, but come to May Day with the aim of making a special contribution during collections for Cuba. And then quite apart from that, we are encouraging the trade unions to have fundraising activities, because you don't just want to ask for collections alone. Have creative fundraising activities. So, for example, you have breakfast, you have lunches, you have dinners in different parishes, and we are asking the trade unions, for example, each trade union to have a breakfast or a lunch targeted for its members. So, for example, PW would target ministries, TAU would target places as Grenada and Nawasa, the places they represent, BGW, the banks. And so if we can have all these trade unions, and we have, over between 10 and 15 trade unions in the country, you're talking about 10 to 15 different activities. And so also with other civil society organizations. Major activity is being planned for St. Patrick. It's not fully tied up as yet, so I don't have the liberty to indicate. And of course, the Cuban graduates, the proposal is to have a special dinner where you invite professionals, and it's specifically for Cuba. You know, like a $250 dinner or so, you have 200 people there, that's $50,000, right? So that's the idea, that's the kind of focus we're looking at during the month, and we are calling on organizations to actually exercise the initiative and do something.
Okay. Yes. But critically also, let's just look. If each Grenadian give $1, that's $100,000. So if you give each Grenadian give $10, that's $100,000.
A million.
You understand? So it's easy, but we will decentralize the activity. So, for example, in Victoria, we have got a coordinator. That's Honorable Dr. Modest, Corinne Modest. She's coordinating Victoria. So all activities in relation to the humanitarian effort.
Yeah, and that is important to identify and make public, so that people wanting, or organizations wanting to contribute to that initiative know whom and where they can do that.
All those information will be on our Facebook and account from tomorrow. We have Dr. Coy and Dr. Brave Boy coordinating around St. Patrick West and East. Dr. Johnson, Dr. Hines coordinating St. Andrews, Dr. Mitchell coordinating St. David, Dr. Donald coordinating St. George's. So we have various coordinators. And what workers have said early on, the activities, any activity, yes, that will take place will involve churches, the trade union, and all respective organizations. So, for example, in Victoria, St. Mark's, we will have what is referred to a day that we will give back to the citizens of free medical services. You can come, you'll get advice on any services relating to engineering. We will have psychologists also there, and all respective profession. We will have attorneys there, and that will take place in each of the parish.
Okay.
But also too, there will be a collection, yes, of anything during that period. So we are referring to, you can give $1 and you are not paying for the service, but it's a form of giving back to Cuba.
And what you're asking for, or what we're looking to contribute, is it only cash or other things, kind as well?
Kind. Both cash and kind.
Okay.
In fact, several businesses have already indicated the willingness to contribute certain specific items.
Right.
There's a need for, special supplies, medical supplies, energy supplies, food supplies for Cuba. And but with cash, of course, there is a flexibility of being able to get specifically what you want. So there is some flexibility, and some of the items will be available outside of Grenada. Some of those items,
especially when you are looking for solar equipment, that's critical.
Right.
As you have said, medicine and medical supply. And also sanitary and hygiene supply. That's critical.
Right.
It is our hope that those supply can be bought and sent to Cuba. We will get a boat that will leave Grenada, and we are also coordinating with the citizens of Jamaica and St. Lucia, so that collection will be made in St. Lucia, move to Jamaica, and move to Cuba.
Now, having said that, I know with the current situation with the fuel and the blockages and so forth, territories that were intent on sending support to Cuba, they were cautioned by the U.S. administration of, their ships being debarred from entering. Do you see that as a problem for us here?
Not really, because in December we sent items, medical items and foodstuff for the student in Cuba. It was well received, but critically also to churches have sent material to Cuba, and it was well received, and it went up with that specific boat I have mentioned earlier on.
Okay.
So that shouldn't be a problem.
All right.
Yes, and many countries, as you would no doubt see from the news, have actually brought supplies. And, it's not, as the saying goes, sometimes it's not how much you give, but it's the thought behind it.
Yeah.
Right? You might be able to give $1 billion, but the fact that all Grenadians are coming together, there is a certain symbolism associated with that. There's a certain appreciation, there's a certain show of gratitude, and that is what is important. So, for example, even in the schools, one of the aspects of the drive that we are looking at is $1 for Cuba. In other words, school children, have an opportunity to donate $1, at least $1. You donate more if you are able to donate more, because many of these children are children of people who have benefited
from Cuba.
Right, from Cuba.
So they benefited indirectly.
Precisely, and it's the show of appreciation.
Yeah. And that in itself, when the people from Cuba get to know that even the school children in Grenada are willing to give back, it's a moral boost.
Right. It inspires.
Yeah.
And not just it inspires, because others have called from the region because of this initiative and wanting to do similar initiatives in their country. It's a matter of moving. You see, sometimes we are so paralyzed by fear and other things that everybody looking at everybody else to move.
You listened to the earlier part of my program this morning. I was talking about fear and the way it inhibits people from doing things. Huh?
Precisely. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And in 2026, let's say we are our ancestors fought this for centuries.
Yeah.
To take us where we are today, and we cannot just really embarrass our ancestors and the whole history of struggle. We're not fighting anybody. We are just promoting peace. We are condemning war.
Yeah.
We are promoting peace and stability, and we are protecting our sovereignty. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
You see, there's something basic in humanitarianism. It's not something you promise.
Yeah.
It is something you practice.
Yeah.
It is something you put in action. And what Cuba have done for the world, this is needed. My brother, Cuba have taken over 40,000 persons from Africa. Kindergarten. Train them in the dialect. Train them in the official language, whether or not it was French and Spanish or Portuguese. Train them in Spanish and make them medical doctors, engineers, agronomists, economists.
Yeah. Yeah, Cuba has impacted the world in as our friend up north would say, bigly.
Yes, indeed. And indeed.
Because you know why? And this is fundamental. For Cuba, it's not about money.
No.
But it's about people, humanity. And that's the reason that humanitarian effort, it is critical today. Give back to Cuba, grateful to give back to Cuba.
Okay, so we have to wrap now, but let me make it public, right? This station, this program is available at any time to accommodate any information, any conversation we would like to push forward as it relates to that 1 month initiative. And I know the success of this 1 month from today to the 14th of April to the 14th of May, it will be so good that we will have other initiatives. I see no reason why local artists, and we are going to do that, we are going to have big concerts, local artists for Cuba.
Yes,
and so forth. I'm going to push that initiative as well.
Well, yes. In fact, I just remember we speaking to the former Calypso King because I didn't mention, but one of the ideas is to have a concert for Cuba, where you have different artists, Calypsonians, musicians, poets, doing a special concert, and we're looking at venues there, but we'll need the Calypsonians and the those folks associated with that area.
Count me in, we'll get it organized.
And what we are doing is to ensure inclusive participation. So I want to thank you immensely for taking the decision to lead that activity.
Yeah.
And we will coordinate on that.
Definitely.
Yes?
We will do. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. As you mentioned St. Lucia a while ago, I've got some folks from the Bank of St. Lucia outside that is coming onto the program subsequently. So, it's really a noble initiative, and I implore us as citizens to find out in what niche you can contribute, what area, and do just that. We are better than that. We are bigger than that. What is being put on the people of Cuba.
Thanks for the courtesy extended.
The pleasure is always ours. Folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back after this. An extended version of the conversation this morning. Don't you go anywhere.
Something big is coming. On April 10th, freedom takes center stage. Are you ready to live free? It all begins April 10th.
Grenada, the fire's about to be lit. Get ready for the ultimate grilling showdown. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026 is coming your way. Saturday, May the 30th at the Monrouge Plain Field. The search is on for the island's top grill masters. Do you have what it takes? Bring your flavor and compete in the chicken category, the seafood category, and the bold, most creative grill category, where daring ideas take the crown. And this year, the heat isn't just for adults. Introducing the Junior Grillers category. Schools and youth groups, if you are under 18, this is your time to shine. So fire up those coals, sharpen those grilling skills, and get ready to battle for grilling glory. Registration is now open. Call or WhatsApp 405-8458 to secure your spot. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026, Saturday, May the 30th, Monroe's Playing Field. Come for food, stay for the vibes, and witness who will be crowned King of the Grill. Brought to you by Maggie, enhancing the natural flavor of your food.
Grenada, we are back. Our senior women's national team returns to the pitch for a massive CONCACAF W qualifier, and they need your power behind them. Tuesday, April 14th, Grenada James Athletics Stadium, Grenada versus Cayman Islands. Kickoff 5 p.m. This is national pride. This is passion. This is the road to glory. Tickets, adults just at $25, children $10, and kids under 12 get in free. Get your tickets now at gotofet.com or at these outlets: Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, St. George's, and Spiceland Mall. GFA office. Bring your flags, bring your voice, and come support our Grenada women's national team as they battle for victory. Follow the journey on social media at Grenada Football Association. Grenada versus Cayman Islands, April 14th, 5 p.m. Be there and stand with Team Grenada.
The Presentation Brothers College and the St. Joseph's Convent St. George's Choirs presents Voices Lifted in Hope. Everybody shouted. An uplifting, inspiring experience featuring the joint choir for the first time in youthful exuberance, along with students from other secondary schools across Grenada. Join us on April 18th at the Grenada Trade Center, starting from 7 p.m. Adults pay $40, students pay $20, and VIP for $80. Voices Lifted in Hope. Come out and support the nation's youth as they showcase their talent. April 18th at the Grenada Trade Center. Do not miss this.
When the day's done, there's only one place to be. Jump it up. April 25th and 26th, the Kirani James Athletic Stadium comes alive. It's the Classic Lighting Communal Credit Union Invitational Games, the final showdown. Come witness all clubs battle for glory one last time. Gather your posse, take your stand, and jump up for Bankers Association, Hubbards, Digicel, Huggins, Renlec, Nawasa, Prisons, Police, Busmen, and Flow. This is rivalry. This is passion. This is Grenada on fire. April 25th and 26th. Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Don't miss it.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. The conversation continues, extended version thereof, as I said earlier. And again, I'm joined by my friends from the Bank of St. Lucia, Yasmin and Anna. And of course, I am certain that by now you are well aware that they're here to expose us to an investment tool, the
BOSL Global Investment Fund.
The investment fund, yeah. How has it been? Well, you're more Grenadian than me now.
I'm telling you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So we've been here from last week, Sunday, Easter Sunday.
Right.
We would have had our official launch at Royalton on Thursday, which was great.
Okay.
The turnout was really good. We got some great questions from the audience. We did a Q&A after the launch. So it has been good. We've been on the ground a lot. So we've been having a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions, doing a lot of financial education as well by being here on radio.
Yeah. And TV.
And TV.
Yes,
radio and TV.
Yes. You can't leave my television audience out.
It's true. And but I must say the Grenadian hospitality has been amazing. has been amazing. Yeah.
It's first time Yasmin is coming to the set. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and I am happy to be here. Yes, definitely.
Yes. I know one of the things that we were looking at is Co-op Bank coming up to becoming that
a distributor,
broker.
Yes, a broker.
A distributor.
Has that been finalized?
Not just as yet, but we're very, very close to doing that. So fingers crossed. Hopefully in the next few days, that should be finalized.
Okay.
So that, and also ACB Grenada as well.
Yeah, I keep forgetting Miss Juana and ACB. Miss Juana, good morning. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Yeah. So for those people who are just joining us for the first time, there are 3 primary investment tools that we want to use. Could you just go through them again?
Sure, of course. We have our growth fund, which is pretty much like our flagship fund. So what we're talking about, before I get into that, is a mutual fund investment, which is just a pooled investment. Just for those listeners who may be coming on for the first time, a mutual fund is in very simple terms. Let's say you, in a sense, you want to invest $1,000. Yasmin wants to invest $2,000. I want to invest $3,000. What happens is that all that money is pooled together.
That's the right order. We'll leave the big one for the big one.
Oh my, not at all. Anyway, right, and all of the money is pooled together. We have a team of fund managers who manage the investments, and these monies are pooled, like I said, and invested in a number of securities, so in stocks, in bonds, for a desired return, and then that return goes back to the pool of investors. Okay. So just in very simple terms, that's what a mutual fund product is. Okay. And then like you asked, we do have 3. That's what makes our products very special. We think that we have 3 different options for our customers. So we have the growth fund, which is like our flagship fund. We say that because it's the most popular, reason being that the returns that you get on the growth fund are significantly higher than what you would get on a regular savings or even on the other 2 funds that we offer, right? And the monies in the growth fund are primarily invested in stocks. Then we have our income fund, where the funds there are primarily invested in bonds. Okay. For the income fund, we look at, we have a range that we aim for, anywhere between 3 to 5% return, right? With the growth fund, it's a little higher. We aim for anywhere between, let's say, 8 and 10%. However, with the growth fund, we have been exceeding that. We close off 2025 with almost 20% return on the growth fund. And then we have the balanced fund, which is a mix of the 2. So with the balanced fund option, you get some stocks in there, some bonds in there. And we aim for a return on there anywhere between 6 to 8%, 5 to 8% about.
Now, let me tell you, from a Grenada's perspective, right, one of the things that Grenadians are very concerned about, their monies, security of their monies and investment. With the proliferation of scams online and all these things now, people are preferring to see their money in the cold room, the bank, just in a savings account. We were being exposed to investment and wealth creation and so forth. So as it relates to that person who is thinking, well, I have some money there, but I don't trust, I ain't trust. Explain to them how secured their investments are with the fund.
You want to take this on? Right. So, I mean, like you say, safety is everything. And your funds that you've worked hard for, I mean, you definitely want to know that it's secure. And we're not saying to invest all your monies, but you invest some. So as it is, we need savings because you need liquidity. So you need to have your savings kept in your account. But what we want you to do is that there's some excess cash that you know that you can put aside. Now, with our fund, Bank of St. Lucia is the main the BUSL Fund Management Company is a subsidiary of Bank of St. Lucia. Bank of St. Lucia is an indigenous bank, and we do know of the bank within the Eastern Caribbean, regulated by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, as well as the fund is regulated by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission. Right, so there is oversight, regulatory oversight, stringent oversight over the fund. So everything, daily reporting, regular reporting, in terms of the auditing, everything is being reported. Everything on the fund is reported. We also have the daily updates, so you're able to see the fund. So persons are not just blind as to what they invest in and they're not sure what they invest in. They are able to come to us, see what the investments are, see what their portfolio is made up of. They could see everything in terms of that oversight. So we know that persons want to make sure that this fund is regulated, as well as the brokers as well are licensed as well. So you would have to go through that examination to get your license in order for you to be able to even sell this product. So we're not just random persons just going out and selling. You would have to definitely be regulated by the commission in order for you to sell those products. And we know that there are only a few brokers in the Eastern Caribbean. Just to name a few, like we say, Grenada Co-op, ACB, Bank of St. Lucia, First Citizens. These are the popular names in the Eastern Caribbean, which we know that are regulated. So anybody else out there trying to sell you investments, we know that you have to ask those questions. So KYC, know your company. I wouldn't say customer, but know your company. So you know who are the brokers, who are the licensed brokers. So that is the first step.
I like that acronym, KYC, know your company.
Yeah. So usually we use it in banking to say know your customer, but it's know your company because you now is the customer now trying to invest with that firm.
Okay.
So
So in essence, all encapsulated in what you just said is that customers' monies are safe. And let me just add in here why we know that it's safe, because it is regulated by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange and Commission. So it is regulated, it is safe. So this is not one of the scams that is on this person that is telling me this morning to send my name and number and address so that I can win some Samsung promotion and this that's not about that. This is regulated. Just like Co-op Bank is regulated under the ECCB, so too is the Bank of St. Lucia and so forth. So this is actually regulated.
Right. And also, I mean, you know who to go to. You could call. Most of the times you get those emails or those texts, you're not sure who's the person behind the phone talking. You know you could visit the building. You know you can take a trip to St. Lucia, which we'd love for you to do. Yeah. You can come down to the bank. You know the bank, there's a building. You know that there are representatives. You can go to Grenada Co-op and see a rep. So we're not only dealing with you virtually, we have that in-person option where there's a building, there's a place where you can go, place of business. So that is important. While we also say that we are regulated, we're not saying that we guaranteeing you a return. Right? So because returns fluctuate, and with investments you do know that your returns, it will fluctuate with the fund. So we're not promising you that we do have a target, but we're not guaranteeing you this return.
Right. Let me just ask a question that I know my folks would want clarified. The returns on the investment may fluctuate.
Right.
But the initial investment is secured. If I invest $1,000 and let's say it's promised that 5% returns on that investment, but that 5% didn't materialize, my $1,000 is secured.
Okay, so here's how it works, right? Just to break it down just a little bit, okay? What we look at and what Yasmin would have mentioned that we publish every day is something called the net asset value, or short, in the NAV, right? Which is actually the share price. Now that share price will fluctuate on a daily basis. It's going to fluctuate because it is very sensitive to what's happening in the markets. Okay, so there is that volatility. Let's say that when you invested, the net asset value or your share price could have been $1 at the time that you invested. Okay, so if you invest $1,000 and the share price is $1, right? It means that you now own 1,000 shares. Okay, now over the next maybe few months or next day even or next week, that share price can change. It can go up. So let's say it can go up to $1.10, right? At that point, you know that, look, my 1,000 shares now is now worth $1.10. So it means that you have made a return, a positive return, right, on your investment at that point in time. The following week, that same share price could possibly go down to $1.05. Right. So that is how you look at what the value of your investment is. So we are not saying that, I heard you use the word there, promise. So we are not saying that you invest $1,000 and we're promising you that by next week you will have a return of 5%. We're not saying that. We are saying, look, there is the net asset value. That is your share price. You can monitor it. So we are being very transparent. We post it every single day. Right? And the type of investment a mutual fund is not a, I wanted to say this when Yasmin was talking, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Right. So this is not one of those things as well.
It's not a pyramid thing.
It's not at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, we're not saying to you, and I mean, this is a very important thing to note as well for your listeners, that look, if somebody comes to you and says, give me $500 and by next week, I'm going to give you $5,000 back, that is way too good to be true. You should know right away that this is a hoax, right? Because no matter how great our fund managers are and how great an investment company is, that is not going to happen in the real world. Okay? So these are the kind of things that people need to look out for, these get-rich-quick schemes. A mutual fund is a medium to long-term type of investment because you want to invest now for your future, but the investment takes time. So over time, you will see, yes, the changes, the fluctuations in the market because we are investing in the bonds and the stocks and so on. There will be that volatility, yes, but in the long run, you will see that return on your investments.
And just to go back to what you said with the $1,000, you invest that $1,000, at any point in time, your $1,000, you are seeing whether or not it will be safe. It could be less than that. It could go down to $900.
Yes, depending on what the net asset value is.
If you buy it at the dollar and it's now 95 cents, it's going to go low. Okay. Right? But it will fluctuate. And that is how you just say, let me just monitor it and let me just see how it works. We give persons a chance. And it's only $200. You can start off. If you don't want to put in a large lump sum, you can put in a small amount and just see how it works for you and see whether or not that's something you're comfortable with. One of the best selling points of it, it's liquid.
Right, you could take it
anytime.
You could say, listen, I ain't like this thing.
Precisely.
Let me have that.
Let me see. Yeah, let me pull out my funds from it. You know what? Or sometimes you just see, you know what? I've already made 10%. Let me pull it out. Yeah. You know that kind of thing.
Stop while you're ahead.
You know exactly, and you can just say, let me pull it out because because it's investing is not for everybody, but persons you do get a chance to at least get exposure to it.
Now, in the interim, while Co-op Bank dots their I's and crosses their T's, and is ACB ready for this?
Not
or they're still in the process?
Right. So ACB Invest will be launching in Grenada very, very soon. Okay. And once they do that, then they will be ready. But in the interim, I do also know that if someone is interested and does want to go through ACB, they can still reach out to them and contact the brokers. So right now, they're just based in Antigua. But that does not mean that they cannot open the accounts for you. So you do have that option as well. You can contact your ACB branch here in Grenada to go through ACB Invest, and they'll be more than happy to deal with you virtually, right? Okay. And the same applies also for Bank of St. Lucia Investment Banking Services, where Yasmin is a broker. And yes, we are here on island until Saturday. So feel free, of course, to reach out to us at any point in time. But even when we return, we are more than happy. Yasmin is more than happy to schedule appointments and to open the broker accounts for customers virtually.
So you're returning in July, right? June, July, you'll be back here?
It's not confirmed as yet, but we will be back in Grenada. Okay. Certainly, yes.
Right. So by that time, you're expecting to meet your
our new customers.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
We will be back.
All right, so as we wrap, contact information for folks who want to contact you now.
Yes, so you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. The number is 758-724-6838. We're very, very responsive. Like I said, Yasmin and I are here on the ground until Saturday evening. So no time is too late, no time is too early.
Exactly. I'll also share my information as well. So my number is 758-518-0201, and I will repeat 758-518-0201. So feel free to reach out, even if you have questions and you already have a broker account or you're looking to do it in Grenada. It doesn't matter. You could still reach out. We will definitely share the information with you.
Yasmin and Anna, thank you for sharing with us once again. And I know you will return before you leave.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
Thank you
returning
so
to make
much.
sure we sign you up.
Yes.
Okay, definitely.
I'm saying
Thank
that
you
on
so
air.
much.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much for having us here today.
Folks, that was the end of the conversation for this morning. I've been speaking with Yasmin and Anna representing the Bank of St. Lucia. Invest wisely. That's it for the conversation. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay.